Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today as we are about to continue on with the rest of our live reaction playthrough for Dawntrail. So, quick recap. We finally were able to confront Valigarmanda. I am really still happy about that. I really did enjoy the fight. I can tell that Extreme is going to be torture. But yes, so we have five, I think. Yeah, so we managed to get five of the seven keystones, one of which is still being, you know, held by Bakul Jaja after he stole it from us. I have a feeling we're going to be confronting him soon, though. And we are now going to be getting ready to head off to the next area, which is Yak T'el. And that should be the area where the last two feats that we have to do are waiting for us. I don't know which ones yet, but we're almost there. Like, I have a feeling like we are going to be rounding up, like just finishing off the Rite of Succession very soon. Yoshi P did say that Dawntrail was going to feel like two separate stories in one. So I'm guessing like halfway through the game is when we finish the Rite of Succession. I guess Wuk Lamat's going to get used to being in charge. And then a new story is going to be kind of kicking off from there. I have no idea what it's going to be about, except that it's going to have to include Solution 9, Heritage Found, and I'm guessing the mysterious next zone. Oh, right, we haven't really gone to Shaloni yet, so that's supposed to be the next area, too. So, Heritage Found and Shaloni. So that's two new places that we'll be going to after Yak T'el, and then the mysterious Zix zone. So, yeah, that's usually what happens. They keep the 6th zone a complete secret, as I guess not to spoil anything. So, yeah, I'm ready to go. All right, so we have Claire here, ready to go from the giant settlement. Right, talking to Erinville with the promise of peace. Erinville would propose a course of action. I think it's time we return to Tuliolo. After scaling Terrell's tallest mountain and battling a legendary beast to the death, even dauntless heroes like you could probably use a rest. In any case, there are preparations to be made before we can visit the next destination laid out in the saga. The respite would be most welcome. I believe I hear the Fornar cabins calling our names. Alright, looks like everyone's in agreement. Watching Volpolor get caught up in Wuk Lamat's unstoppable wake reminds me of my younger days. I was just curious. I had to know what they would say. Okay, so for our cabins, rest well, everyone. We can meet back here later on. I have a small errand to run in the city, so I'll leave you to recover. Will you be heading to the palace, Wuk Lamat? Wuk Lamat, did you hear me? Lost in her own little world, it seems. Well, no matter. I'll be back soon enough. Is she just gonna stand there, completely lost in thought for a while? An attendant is standing by to unlock your cabin. Enjoy your stay. Huh? Like, oh, come on. We have to walk to it now? It's because of you, isn't it? Oh. Can I get from there from down here? Can I? No, I can't, can I? I got so excited I jumped off without even thinking about it. How do I get up here? Okay, there we go. I find it a little bit rude that we actually have to walk all the way here. Maybe I'm just being lazy. Welcome back, Mistress Faye. Your cabin is just as you left it, minus a light layer of dust. Well, that's nice of you. Who is it? Of course it's you.
You have a moment? There's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
So,
Wuk Lamat, if you want to kiss her, go right ahead. I mean, I'm not against the idea. Am I the only one who feels like that's where this is going? Am I?
It's just too stuffy in here, that's what.
How can it be stuffy? It leads right outside.
We should go outside. Aye, a nice walk in the fresh air. That's what we need.
I mean, we got all the fresh air that we want with an enormous window leading outside. We don't even have to use the door. We can just go and jump right outside the balcony. Jump right into the ocean. That sounds like fun. Okay, what is this about? Sorry to drag you away from your nice, comfortable cabin, but I could feel the walls closing in. Oh, I know. I'll take you to one of my favorite places in Tuliolo. That should help me get my thoughts in order. We'll go to the Resplendent Quarter and make our way up from there. Seriously, I was honestly thinking she was about to confess her love for us. That's kind of what the impression I was getting. I mean, I'm not against the whole concept. Come on. Why can't I click on that? So, here. Hishwa, what are you doing up and about? Is your back feeling better? It's much healed now, so don't make such a fuss. Besides, I can't be lounging in bed all day when you're out there fighting your hardest to win the throne. Why do I hear giggling? You're the claimant with the greatest love for peace. I love this nation of ours, and lending you my support is the least I can do. When I see you smile like that, how can I not be encouraged? What is that giggling noise? Oh, there's plenty more who believe in your cause. I can recruit a whole battalion of smiling faces if you think it'll help. Yours alone is more than enough. Thank you, Peshwa. And thank you, Third Promise. I shall pray for your success in the contest. All those smiling faces. Sorry, Claire, I'm getting distracted. It's just that with the progress we made in the contest, even these everyday encounters feel that much more special. Do you think we can take our time and maybe wander about a little first? Then we can head to the spots I was thinking of? Oh, the sun comes up. Very appropriate.
This is much better. I used to come here all the time when I was little. Would look out over the whole city, and whatever worries I had would seem so small. Do you remember what I said at the top of Warkor Zormor? That I would fight to preserve Papa's peaceful Tural?
You don't stop talking about it.
Well, I've been thinking a lot since then. About what peace really means. If it's just the absence of war. And it brought to mind all the best parts of our journey so far. I realized nothing gives me greater joy than the happiness of others. Life has its ups and downs, but the company of family and friends and the music of their laughter is what makes it worth living. And as silly as it might sound, I've come to believe that those smiling faces are the best measure of peace.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing I expect you to say. Because you keep going on about it.
Really? I feel proud somehow. It's an answer I arrived at by trying to be true to myself. That you think I succeeded, it means a lot. So, this is my plan. When I become Dawn Servant, I'll build on Papa's peace. Our people will live together in happiness. It's just like Kryl said. By taking the time to hear their concerns, understand their feelings, and consider how best to serve, with each passing day, I'll be that much closer to becoming the leader I want to be. It's hard for me to say how much I've changed since the contest began. But there's one thing I can say with confidence. I wouldn't have come this far without you as allies. If it wasn't for you all listening and feeling and thinking along with me, I would have never learned so much, and in so short a time.
I see what
there
they
are
did
two
there.
keystones left. After everything that's happened, and imagining what could happen, are you still willing to walk this path with me?
Well, I'm not the type of person who leaves a job half done.
Thank the gods for that. Well, I've nothing else to get off my chest. I need to head to the palace, but I'll see you back at the cabins.
Making us walk all that way back. I get it. I really do get how important this lesson is that she needs to learn. Like, if she's going to be a real leader, she has to be able to understand other people, their cultures, and everything. But do you have to keep shoving it down our throats like that? We learned that lesson, like, way back in Heaven's Ward, didn't we? Like, when we learned, like, the importance of listening to two different sides, like, two different sides of a story. Man, I don't mean to go and harp about that, but it kind of feels like one of those after-school specials where they're trying to nail, like, these important life lessons into you over and over again when we got it, like, the first couple dozen times. I have mixed feelings about this game so far. It just feels... It feels like it's fast in all the wrong places and slow in all the wrong places to me. But you know what? There's still plenty of time for it to get better. You look to be in good spirits. I assume your leisure time was spent well. I was glad to snatch some quality sleep myself. After all, it will soon be back to the road for us. Alright, so that's one down. The lead to Yak T'el. And we get a new weapon. That's going to be interesting to see what it looks like. I'm sure the others will be along shortly. I do hope everyone has rested well. Well, even if they haven't, we're still going. Well, that was abrupt that the music ended. Now that we have refreshed ourselves somewhat, let's all consider our claimants as they currently stand. Zeroja and Kona have completed every feat thus far and hold 5 keystones apiece. Wuk Lamat would be equal with them, but for Bakul Jaja's thievery, which has left us 1 short. I'm surprised he only took 1. That conniving braggart didn't so much as lift a finger for the feat of proof and wreaked havoc for the feat of ice. He can't have more than 3 keystones at most. If he hasn't been disqualified already, why hasn't he? He may think he can simply steal what he needs to win, but he's sorely mistaken. I will be taking back what is mine, this I swear. I fear that reclaiming your keystone may not be enough. That is, if Bakul Jaja unleashing of Valigarmanda is any indication. Using his lead, I anticipate that he will move to obtain the remaining keystones before disrupting his rival's attempts. We may all find ourselves being forced to take from one another. I can't say I'd be comfortable with that. But neither will I surrender my claim to the throne so easily. If it's for the sake of preserving the happiness of my people, I'll do what I must. Once more, we're having it shoved in our faces again. The last two keystones we require are those of the Lay of Repass and the Lay of the Brotherhood. The former depicts the sensation of hostilities between the Mamuja and Exbrali in the forests of Yak T'el, specifically near a village called Ikprayax. And that's where I was born. If you recall, I haven't been back there since Papa took me in when I was a baby. Where the Lay of the Brotherhood takes place, however, is unclear. In the saga, it is said that a foreign explorer came seeking an audience with the Dawn Servant, but little more than that. Eorzea has a similar tale. The explorer Ketenram befriended a two-headed king known as the Ultrarchs before commencing his travels across Toral. He journeyed here several times afterwards, but was ultimately lost at sea. At least that is the commonly held belief. Your two-headed king certainly sounds like Papa, so this Ketenram follow must have come to Tuliolo. But if he indeed arrived some 80 years ago, so the capital may not have been built yet, vestiges of Yokwi architecture notwithstanding. Wait, you said Utcharge, didn't you? Then Ketenram must have met the Dawn Servant in Mamuk. Mamuk? Mamuk, is that a city? One of the grandest in Toral once upon a time, and the seat of the Mamulja's homeland. It too lies in Yak T'el, not far from Ikprayax. Then all things considered, Yak T'el seems the obvious choice for our next destination. From here, the safest method of travel is by dirigible. We should make for the landing once our preparations are complete. We're riding in one of Kona's balloons? They can't be any worse than ships, can they? Oh, sure, except that if something goes wrong, we crash and burn. Whereas the worst that could happen out at sea is that we sink and have to swim to shore. But if we fall and crash, I mean, we're pretty much dead. But hey, it should be easier than seasickness, right? Oh, there we go. Just making sure. But seriously, how come Bakul Jaja is still in the contest? You think that unleashing Valigarmanda would be enough to get him disqualified? That's just me, though. Oh, look at her. She's just terrified. It'll be fine. Just fine. The next flight to Yak T'el will be leaving shortly. Passengers are asked to keep hands, legs, and luggage inside the dirigible at all times. Are we sure that thing will stay in the air all the way to Yak T'el? Mostly. Are you ready? Bags packed and goodbye said. There's no going back once we lift off. Yep, I'm good to go. Not that I'm nervous or anything. I'm just making sure that you're not nervous. Girl, I helped build a dirigible. Like, I'm not the least bit worried. Oh, who am I kidding? My knees won't stop shaking. Hey, will you hold my hand just until I've settled my nerves? Oh, that's so sweet. Aww. Yeah, of course. Why not? You're the nicest person I've ever met, Claire. I'll try not to crush your hand. Okay, you really aren't helping the case that you have a crush on the Warrior of Light. It's almost as obvious as Sir Emmerich. There she is. Third promise. Wait just a moment. Who's... Oh! Mablu! Mablu and Tobli! Of course, of course. I'll wait as long as you need. Gives me an excuse not to have to board. Sorry to delay you, but we were able to discover the origin of Cryle's earring. Oh, wow, I completely forgot about that. Is that so? You said before that it gained popularity in Yak T'el as a protective ward for travelers, correct? That's right. We tracked down the elderly merchant to whom first sales are attributed. According to him, the design imitates an accessory worn by a foreign mage he met at a market some 20 years ago. Little did he know that charming taste of salt would prove to be a commercial triumph. So that had to have been Galuf, right? Foreign mage wearing this earring could only be grandfather. Did the merchant happen to mention which market? One in Yak T'el, to where it seems you are already bound. What are the odds? What luck! Then I shall seek my next clue once we arrive. Is it mere coincidence that brought my grandfather there, or... Yet another discovery to look forward to. Thank you both for coming all this way. Anything for the third promise. Good luck with the rest of the rite. Thanks, I won't let you down. I just got aboard this dirigible and I'm as good as there. Last call for passengers to Yak T'el. I really hope she wins. Yak T'el will test her mettle, without a doubt. The next Dawn Servant must be willing to bear the full weight of this nation's history, no matter how heavy it may be. Sounds like he knows something. Ooh.
The fierce Shepral hunters who laid claim to this land call it the Azure Forest, Yak T'el. Battered by meteors in ancient times and colored mesmerizing shades of blue and green by nature, it is easy to understand why the place is so named. It is here, where the Shepral and Mamulja once battled for dominance, that the right of succession would reach its climax.
Okay, so it looks like we are getting near the end of at least half of the game. Oh god, we're not even halfway through yet.
Are you all right?
I've never been good with heights.
The vegetation is far denser than in Cosmauca.
I suggest you pay more attention to the ground, unless you want to walk straight into a cenote.
Cenote?
A cenote?
Sinkholes filled with rain and groundwater. Many meteors fell here long ago, it is said, and after they struck the Earth, it became susceptible to erosion.
Really?
Deep as some of the pits are, you'll not climb out in a hurry should you take a tumble. So, don't take a tumble.
It was one time.
Is the Chebral community depicted in the Lay of Repast close by?
Aye. We need but follow the path a short way west.
Right. I can't stand here with my knees knocking forever. Let's get going.
That doesn't make any sense here. I mean, she hasn't been back here since she was a baby, right? So how come she took a tumble into a cenote? With thicker vegetation comes reduced visibility. I advise you to keep someone in sight at all times. Not too far, it looks like. And also, how can Wuk Lamat claim to not be good with heights? I mean, she climbed up the side of a mountain, no problem. And she practically grew up, like, at the side of a mountain, like in Tuliolo, overlooking everything. That counts as a height, doesn't it? And wow, that is gorgeous. Like, stay consistent, dev team, please. Like, I'm getting confused here. Oh my god, that looks so cute! It's a flying squirrel! I'm sorry, I don't want to fight it. It's cute. Oh my god, it's those plant things. Where are those from? Like 13? Final Fantasy 13, I think. Yeah, I think so. Good, everyone's accounted for. Exbriax is up ahead. Let's be on our way. Looks like a nice little village. Bigger than what we're used to, anyway. First things first. Need to get to the Aetheryte. Where is it? There it is. Okay, good. Now we don't have to worry. Whoa, is that one of the sinkholes? Ernville was not exaggerating about the cenotes. It would be a grueling ordeal to climb out of one. Well, that's easy, just teleport. Well, thankfully, we made it here without incidents. Let's not dally any longer. Wow. And these can pop up anywhere? Seems like a rough place to live. Are all cenotes this deep, I wonder? Village of the Hunt. Wuk Lamat's attention is divided between the perilous steep cenote and Exbriax. Ready to head on in? Okay, so we gotta find the next elector, right? Our first task should be finding the Elector. Hopefully our relative tardiness will not reflect poorly upon us. The third promise and her retinue, I presume. You presume right. I seek the Dawn Servant's Elector. Then come and join us in the Garden of the Stars at the village center. Everyone is waiting for you. Waiting? Why would they be waiting for us? That was easy. Everyone? And who might that be? There is but one way to find out. Come, let us follow him. Oh, they're all here.
At last, we are graced by the presence of the third promise.
If I'd
He's
known
such a
we'd be
jerk.
waiting on your mangy hide, I wouldn't have bothered with Valigarmanda in the first place.
Well, serves you right. How are you still here?
You self-serving piece of weaver dung! Do you have any idea how many could have been hurt?
Now that we are assembled, let us begin. My name is Hunmuruk. As Ibrash Rash, I have the honor of serving as Elector on behalf of my people.
Oh, well, that's certainly fast. What was with that smile? Wait!
As all
Don't
four
tell me.
claimants must be present for this feat, we have eagerly awaited your arrival.
Is he her
I
dad?
promise. If you would please join us.
I mean, he looks a lot like her. Is he her dad? Don't tell me!
Thus far, you have faced each other as rivals. The feat of repast, however, will test your cooperation. You must complete this challenge in teams of 2.
Really?
What? You expect us to work with one of these weaklings?
Be warned. Only the triumphant team will receive keystones. I advise you to cooperate with your partner.
This is certainly different.
Teams will be decided by lots. Those who draw the same color will be paired accordingly.
Twelve forbid Wuk Lamat is paired with Bakul Jaja. After all he's put her through, I wouldn't blame her if she did something rash. I might even help.
Of course you would.
Claimants, please present your colors. I have red. Blue. On separate teams, then. And the rest?
Red,
Oh,
which means
of course.
Together again, as fate would have it.
victory's as good as ours.
With our claimants thus paired, so too is their opposition.
Oh no. This is not gonna be a
Not the
good.
one-head.
Well, who else did you want to be paired up with?
Listen well,
Oh
for the
boy.
trial that awaits you is as follows.
They're gonna kill each
Each
other,
team
aren't
is to
they?
prepare a sample of traditional Shebrol cuisine. Shibruk Bibil.
Shebruk Pibil. What the heck is that?
And now we must cook. Another ludicrous feat.
So it might seem, but there's bound to be deeper meaning to it.
Agreed. Given that the very future of our nation is at stake, all parts of this rite must have significance.
Our promises have grown rather promising, wouldn't you say?
Indeed.
How many times have
Glad
you used that line,
significance of the
Manfred?
feat. Few things reflect the history and development of a culture so clearly as its culinary traditions.
The variety of stewed dishes in Garlean cuisine bespeaks their agricultural roots and cold climes, true.
You guys are making me hungry now. I have not had breakfast
The
yet.
peoples we've met on our journey, they've all had different practices involving food and drink. The Hanu replenish their magical energies with reeds, while the Pelu have turned their fondness of beverages into a living. So basically, to know a people's cuisine is to know something of their ways.
With each feat, we have deepened our familiarity with a given community's history and culture. Is this what Father intended for us all along? But a leader with his vision must see that the past doesn't hold the answers we need. It is through embracing innovation, not adhering to tradition, that we will usher Tuli Yolal onto a more prosperous future.
Are you still going on about that?
The rules are simple. The first team to prepare and partake of satisfactory Shebruk Bivir will be deemed victorious. You will be judged by your sample's taste and appearance, as well as your adherence to appropriate cooking techniques. Kitchens have been made available for your use. Note that you may be asked to retry should your dish fail to pass muster. Let the feat of repast begin.
I've never actually heard of Shebruk Bibil before. It's a light, I wonder.
I have no idea what it is. I can't even pronounce it. Like, Shebruk Bibil? Bibil. Wow. A lot of people here. Okay, Kona, you seem our best option right now. Unfortunate that this feat's unique stipulations have frustrated Bakul Jaja's attempts to delay us. Yeah, I don't think there's a way he can cheat here. Serves him right. That's what he gets for endangering my people with his schemes. Why doesn't he just compete fairly? He's plenty strong and obviously has a mind for strategy, twisted though it may be. I'll never understand him. Putting aside our competition for the moment, allow me to express how glad I am for this opportunity to work together. As I see it, our team possesses a distinct advantage. Of course we do. Any team I'm on is bound to succeed. There's that confidence. Precisely. You mean we have an advantage in numbers, yes? Our competition has a team of 6, 2 claimants, Sarilja, and Bakul Jaja's lackeys. That's true, and none of them really seem all that bright to me. Whereas we are a team of 9, that's 3 more people we can mobilize. With the task suitably delegated, it should be a brisk affair to learn the recipe and assemble the necessary ingredients. Too easy. Well, we mustn't be overconfident, lest we make a careless mistake that could be easily avoided. First order of business should be determining the recipe for shabrul pibil. We can hardly gather ingredients for a dish we know nothing about. Given the nature of this feat, asking for answers directly may prove less efficient than simply observing the daily habits of the Shabrali people. Let us gather here once we have seen what clues this village has to offer. Yeah, I don't think they're just going to hand over the recipe for us. That's going to be too easy. Alright, so we gotta go speak with Kona. Where is he? Where is everyone? Oh, okay, here we go. Bright banana peel. Oh wow, that's a cool banana peel. Usually colored banana peel has been neatly arranged on the ground, which appears to be smoking. So it involves bananas then, I'm guessing. Oh no, it appears I've gone and dropped my Jatika banana peel. Could barely see it for all the steam issued from my underground oven. Ah, there's nothing like enjoying a tasty banana while you use the leaves in your cooking. Okay, I get it. Alright, so I'm guessing that it's not the banana itself, it's the leaves that we can bake it in. Which makes sense. I know that you can do that. Come with me for a moment. Okay, why is Urnveld trying to get Thancred to go with him? Suspicious. Okay. I mean, normally I say go to where the large crowd is, but I'm guessing that's for later. Colorful spices. Number of spices, some entirely unfamiliar to you, are nestled in a basket. That one's called achote, which mostly used it to add a bit of color to a most popular cuisine, but its medicinal benefits are significant as well. Yeah, the people are not allowed to tell us directly, but they are allowed to give us obvious hints. So we have to use some of those specific spices, and we have to bake it in banana leaves. Recipe for Shabrak Bibel. Wish I could tell you, friend, a dish so delicious is meant to be shared. Alas, we are forbidden from divulging anything. Orders from Hamuk Rook himself. But your mentioning it has given me a fierce craving. I only hope that there's still Exbrut to be had at markets. Wink. Okay, what the heck is Exbrut though? Like, I'm guessing it's a meat? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. These names are so hard. Flavor would that be they're asking for? Okay. Oh, here we go. So we go, Guardian. We ought to cut our losses and head to Mamuk. This feat is nothing but a fool's errand. You're the fool if you think he won't tan our hides for leather if we dare to return without enough keystones. Besides, we've taken from the house cat before. How difficult could a second time be? Oh, that's Bakul Jaja's lackeys. What are you looking at, Salt Liquor? Mind your own business. So, they're planning to steal from us again. That's not a good sign. Sorry, I'm back. What did we discover about Shabruk's Pebel? True to your prediction, the villagers were forbidden from educating us directly. However, many were still preparing it as one might a sample dish, and observation of their techniques yielded clues enough. A lady blending local herbs and spices was only too happy to describe the ones I didn't recognize, while neither confirming nor denying any relation to Shabril Pebel. But one in particular she attributed to all coming Shabrali dishes. Achitote, she called it. I see. Then if Shabril Pebel is indeed a dish as curious as Alphino claims, we have confirmed our first ingredients. Meanwhile, I did observe a cook bearing bundles wrapped in the leaf of Najul, or banana in certain localities. 'Twould seem the use of subterranean ovens is commonplace. Yeah, I have heard that is something that people do. I saw the same. I think we all know what's inside those bundles, then, don't you? It brewed, without a doubt. As would be expected of a dish called Shabrul Pebel, indeed. Could they have not given it another name? So to summarize, this dish is one of Ibru flavored with a combination of spices that include agitote and steamed underground with najul, or banana leaves. Given our assumptions are correct, we must now learn where and how to procure our ingredients. As a sample cuisine, its ingredients would be close at hand, which is why Thancred and I scouted the surrounding forest while you were all exploring the village. Also, that's why you were asking him to go with you. Between the local vegetation and Wad al-Jibul, we should have everything we need in regards to meat and spices. Ha! Leave it to a master gleaner. With that, we should next divvy up our tasks. While some gather ingredients, others should make ready the kitchen. I can help prepare the kitchen. Permit me to assist as well. Our ovens will doubtless require firewood, and I have some experience in its gathering. What is with you and the firewood? I too should be glad to volunteer mine aid. You can cook, Urianje, and the rest of us will gather ingredients. I can make quick work of the spices and herbs myself. I'm happy to lead someone to a suitable Shabrul if they will perform the requisite deed, Alize. As for the Najul leaves, I believe I am capable of acquiring that much on my own. Be warned, you won't find a jewel in these parts. They only grow in the Jatika heartland, forests far below these. Ha, such an excursion might be time-consuming. Perhaps we have to try bartering first. This feat encourages our communications with the locals, after all. Namachi, Claire, if you would accompany me on my errand. Well, it's not like we got anything else to do. No better way to whet my appetite. Good, let us be about our task then. Come on, let's go and get those Najul leaves. Sooner we do, the sooner we can eat. You are making me hungry, girl. I did not realize I had so much. Chest wrapped of scouting. Where is it? Oh! Wow! So it's like from the Ratika Greatwood, the Ratana Ravel. History of violence. Kona has a look of a man intent on finding banana leaves. Let's see if there are Najul leaves to be had in town. Perhaps the cook Oriange mentioned might be persuaded to spare us a few. Does it necessarily have to be banana leaves, though? Is there, like, something unique about the banana leaves? Cheerful cook. Let's see what you have to say. Oh, hello again. Did you need something? Yeah, you got a couple leaves that you can spare us? Najul leaves, for purposes other than Shabrak Pibil, naturally. Unfortunately, I just used up my last. You'll have to travel to the lower forest for more. Gomaki Grove is the source of the finest Najul leaves you'll find. Wild variants you sometimes see in the city markets can't compare. I see. I had hoped to avoid such a lengthy venture, but if there's no other way to obtain our ingredient, then it is to the Jatika heartland we shall go. Allow me to save you the trip. Oh, it's you. I still think that he's Wuk Lamat's dad. I mean, he looks way too much like her to be anyone else. Traveling there requires that you go through the Tabiriki Traverse, but it has caved in. Due to the recent storm, I expect. Again with the storm! What? But that means we can't get our Najul leaves. But we can, can't we? If there were no other way of procuring them, you would have suspended this feat or else altered its objective. Perhaps. Anyway, I apologize for the interruption, but having overheard your conversation, I felt compelled to chime in. That's very kind of you. Any last-minute advice you'd be willing to share? Only to undertake the feat of repast with an empty stomach. You may find Shabrek Pibil to be a delicious but daunting dish to finish. I can't wait. Still, there are no leaves here and we can't travel for more. How are we supposed to gather all of our ingredients? These feats are meant to deepen our understanding of the peoples and cultures of Tuliolo. So perhaps there is something about Shipwreck Pibil that we have yet to learn, something of significance other than its recipe or ingredients. Oh, I see. Like, who was the first to make it? Its history, that sort of thing. If it's Yak T'el's history you're interested in, you should start with the old war. Between the Shabral and the Mamuja, right? These forests have borne witness to centuries of warfare, the evidence of which remains a scar upon the earth. To know the end of that bloodshed is to know Shipwreck Pibil. Huh? What does steamed Shabril have to do with bloodshed? Precisely the question we must answer. Vexing though such a detour may seem, I can think of no other way to approach this feat. In that case, you may wish to visit the site of a settlement ruined by the war, the village of Yeson Osha. It lies a short distance to the east. Village of Yeson Osha. Understood. Thank you for your help. Come, let's go and see this place. I mean, if I could fly, I could just fly right on down, grab a handful of banana leaves, and be good to go. But I can't fly yet, can I? I'm trying to avoid getting attacked by those things. Everyone know there was a war between the Mamuja and the Shabrali, but I may have forgotten some of the details. Why am I not surprised? The village of Yeson Osho must be further east. Let us continue with haste. For all we know, our competitors may be on our heels. How are we supposed to find the banana leaves in this area, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Whoa, there's a giant hole in the ground. Cenote. Whoa! Why is that one blue? Is that like a special hunt? That is a special hunt. Oh no! Leave me alone. I don't want to fight anything that cute. Oh wait, is that how it works? So we get to ride these things down, like, because they are supposed to fly. They're like flying squirrels or sugar gliders. So maybe they're supposed to help, you know, fly us down to, like, the lower forests. What is... Whoa. Killer piranhas. Piranhas were bad enough in the water, now they fly up on land? That sucks. Okay. This place feels forgotten by time. So this is the village of Yeon Aso, or what's left of it. It was a place of light and life. My great-grandfather called it home, in fact. Oh, he's here? Wukavu, what on earth are you doing? Like, I didn't expect to see you here. Wukavu, I didn't know you were in Yak T'el. Please tell me he's going to be funny again. I was picking up lumber from Yak T'el when I heard the third promise was on her way to this site of deep historical significance. Immediately saw another opportunity to be of service, and so followed you here. Wukavu is a shipwright who came to our aid during the Feat of Reeds. Pleasure. You are a member of the Third Promise's Retu, I presume. For the moment, I suppose I am. My name is Kona. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Okay, here we go. Kona, now that's a good name, a familiar name. Where have I heard? Kona, as in the second promise of Tuliolo? To think that I address the Dawn Servant's own son as some common retainer, such disrespect cannot be excused. Please take up your gun and... Oh, come on, not this again. I love when he does this, though. I take no offense, so please do not dwell on it. All right, then. I shall dwell on it. I love this guy. And right on cue, at least he's consistent, and that's what I love about him. I understand you wish to learn about Shabruk Pipil, but I am forbidden by the Shabrali rocks to divulge any information regarding its preparation. I would be happy to share what I know of Yak T'el's history. We appreciate that. In the most basic sense, the conflict between the Shabrali and the Mamuja was one of land. The Mamuja lived in the lower forest where the thick canopy obscures the sun and the soil is unforgiving to crops. This drove them to convert the upper forest, the home of the Shabrali, and they launched a determined campaign to seize it for themselves. Yet its advantage ever favors higher ground, and the Shabrali forces held the upper hand against the invaders, rebuffing them time and again. But as the state of this village would attest, the tide eventually turned. What brought it about? Something you all know too well. Blessed siblings. You must understand, the Mamuja were once a people as much at war with themselves as they were with others. The Hibogo, Bonawa, and Dopo each sought to assert dominance over the others, even as they engaged in the Shabrali in battle. In an effort to strengthen bonds and discourage infighting, Hibogo and Bonawa leaders arranged a marriage between their children. However, this political measure altered the course of history in ways no one could have ever imagined. It was long believed that partners of differing clans could not have children together. But then it happened, a child born who shared the blood of Hibogo and Bonawa both, the two-headed Mamuja. Blessed with tremendous physical strength and magical prowess, he grew into a mighty warrior before eventually arising as the first Autarch ruler of all three clans. Such qualities would have disposed anyone to leadership, character notwithstanding. Under the Autarch's rule, the newly united Mamuja became a force to be feared, and the war soon came to a head. I think it best you see the results firsthand. Let us visit another battlefield from that time, and there I shall continue the tale. I think we all know who the first blessed siblings were. Oh boy. Oh man. Oh, it's like burnt. What happened here? Like everything is just destroyed. 5 of 12. Yeah, like if this all was done like over 80 years ago, you think it would have grown back by now. What the heck?
This is where most battles were fought between the Shabral and Mamulja. The Shobrit Cinderfield.
Appropriate name.
A field of cinders, indeed. How fierce their clashes must have been.
The war over these lands began after the Yokui's departure some 500 years ago. and for 4 centuries thereafter, the two enemies repaid violence with violence. A constant stream of minor skirmishes, punctuated by massive slaughter.
Until Father ended their endless conflict 80 years ago.
Accompanied by a retinue of only 6, the Dawn Servant opposed both armies and brought the fighting to a standstill.
First they sealed Valigarmanda at full strength, and now this.
It was during this armistice that both sides gathered for negotiations at the Dawn Servant's behest.
Who was that? It's the echo again. What are we about to see? Oh, are we watching like that very moment?
For too long, you have been bound by your ancestors' violent legacy. It is past time you broke free of it.
Tell that to the Scale Scum! We fight to protect what is rightfully ours! If not for their greed, we'd be living in peace!
Buff your tails and scurry off, then! Cowards like you ill-deserve the bounty of this forest. Even should one of you succeed in vanquishing the other, your triumph will last only until a new invader arrives. Tell me, do you know of the vast continent that lies far to the east, where numerous nations vie for dominance?
I guess not.
You do not. And why should you? Affairs beyond the salt we have no intention to cross are of no consequence to us.
Oh, is that who I think it is?
Not until those affairs come to Tural, like our honored visitor here.
He's from across the ocean.
I've been to the ocean before, and it's nothing but water farther than the eye can see. What sort of vessel could possibly reach its end? That such technology exists is indisputable, as is foreign powers' awareness of Tural. If any such country were to develop a taste for Turali soil and bring to bear the might of innovations we can only imagine, what do you suppose happens then? You do not know the warlords of the East, but you know that if they came, they would not settle for a single forest. By joining hands, we might create a unified front, an alliance capable of repelling them or any other foe. There is no greater proof of these than my companions and I. Alone we are weak, but together we triumphed over Valigarmanda. What? You defeated the Sky Ruin? I'd take you for a liar if the sting of our own defeat wasn't still fresh.
Their coordination was indeed impressive. How the Pelu stymied our efforts to cripple the Yokui's legs and defend our ballistas. And when we withdrew to strike again from a distance, the Hanu called the winds to make our arrows miss their marks. In seeking to exploit their weaknesses, We only subjected ourselves to their strengths.
Those strengths are born of cooperation. The guiding principle of the nation we envision.
But our feud has lasted for centuries. How do you expect us to join hands now?
Ha ha! Give us an evening to convince you.
Oh, I see where this is going. That was actually such a nice scene. Who was watching us, though? Who was that? Had to be from their memory,
And
right?
so began that legendary banquet. One would not expect sworn enemies to abruptly drink to each other's health, and, indeed, a tense silence hung over the venue. But then, the Dawn servant called for the exchange of traditional cuisine. So it was that the Mamulja partook of spiced meat, and the Chebral steamed najul. Before long, delight manifested upon the faces of those present, each side impressed by the other's dish. Seeing this, the Dawn servant laughed and declared once more. Their flavors, he said, would be even better combined, and he proceeded to help them prepare the new creation.
That's Shibruk Pibil, I'd wager.
It is a marriage of Chebral and Mamulja cultures, and proof of their newfound cooperation.
Now I get it.
The Dawn servant had asked for a single evening, but the feasting is said to have lasted 3 days and 3 nights. So delicious was their repast. In the end, a peace accord was reached, and the Dawn servant's words at that time still illuminate our way forward.
Ignorance begets a strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Sorry. It's just to think that he ended an age-old conflict with food. It's all so absurd. It's somehow so very papa, I couldn't help but laugh.
Ignorance begets strife. Understanding begets fellowship.
Now then, I trust you understand the significance of Shibruk Pibil and the history it has written.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing the story with us.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
We were being watched.
Someone was there, you say?
Perhaps our competition is cooking up some scheme or another.
Something bitter and half-baked, no doubt.
I don't think so. Because I can't think of any other reason why we would have that particular vision if it wasn't somebody who may have been there. Papa really did live up to his words. He traveled the land and learned about our people's Miajid cultures. And we're doing the same now. Okay. next one is the feat of repast, and we get a special present. But I think we'll go ahead and call it there for right now. Alright, so let's do the quick recap and before we call it a day. How do I feel about it? I like the concept. I do like the concept of, you know, teams working together to make this meal. I understand why they're doing it now. And it's a really nice callback to everything that happened way before. And they want us to learn. They want us to learn about the history here, about the war, about how it was put a stop to. And it's really not really too much to say at this point, except that it is fascinating to see them work together like this. We don't know exactly how the other two, Zeroja and Bakul Jaja, are faring now. I'm guessing that they're just constantly arguing, or maybe Bakul Jaja's constantly complaining and Zeroja just wants to chop off his heads, which I still don't get how is he still in this thing? You think that word would have been sent back to Tuliolo about how Bakul Jaja unleashed Valigarmanda. You think that would have been enough to disqualify him, but no. I know, I gotta stop mentioning that. I just find it's just so absurd that someone like Galu Jaja would go ahead and just allow this to happen. Okay. Anyway, so right now we are trying to replicate that event. We're trying to make the food that means so much to these people, that represents, you know, the dawning of a new age of peace. That's basically what we're trying to do. And they want us, like you can tell that they actually want us to learn this history and to really appreciate it. Otherwise, there's no way that we would ever be able to fully understand why this is so important. So, I'm guessing that by the next episode we are going to complete this, the feat of repast, and then that means that we can actually head down into the next territory, I'm guessing. So it's the lower, this place is separated into two halves. Like we have the upper half and the lower half, kind of like Ukupacha. And I'm guessing that down in the forest below, that's where we have to go to Mamuk, and we have to go ahead and take care of the final feat. Well, no, maybe not. Like, maybe we actually have to finally confront Bakul Jaja here, because we did run into, like, some of his lackeys who were talking about, you know, let's go ahead and steal some more from Wuk Lamat. So I'm guessing they're going to try something similar there to steal more of her keystones, but we end up beating him, and we get back our keystone that he stole from us before we go off to Mamuk. And then we have, I think that's the feat of brotherhood. I think that's what is the last one, and I have no clue what that could mean. But anyway, that's it for now. Thank you all so much for joining. I hope you enjoyed it myself. And anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. And I guess I'll see you next time. So until then, everyone, take care.